Welcome back to the Tokyo Fresh podcast. Jordan already can't help himself. He's already dying.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Back to normalcy, kind of.
Back to basics. We got a new couch.
Yeah.
We're living in luxury right now. It's great, dude.
We're living in luxury.
Dude.
A whole couch.
A whole couch.
One
Listen,
whole couch.
I come from my house to David's mansion on top of the hill. I'm basically a peasant. I live thin-walled apartment with students. I'm near the station.
Look at this bitch. She got a bed.
I live in a valley, and I've just got a bed. I've got kotatsu, and I'm there eating my rice out of a broken bowl of
You don't have a rug. It's just straw on the floor.
Straw. Straw. You think I'm made of money on the floor?
That. Yeah, it's
then what's on my roof? Come to David's house on a fucking hill. It's beautiful. I can't wait till I move, David. I'm so excited for it.
Well, you get on that.
I'm trying to save money at the moment to move.
I feel you.
Yeah, because moving in Japan will basically move expenses before.
Did you get your Abe money yet?
I got my Abe money!
Abe, what the fuck are you doing?
Guys.
I haven't got shit.
My Abe money came to my account. It was a day before payday. So
you got a 1-2
beautiful
hit there.
I checked my account a day before payday, and I was like, hold on a minute. There's more money in here than I... Hold on a minute. Is that Abe? Abe, you fucking cunt. Thanks, dude. So I got the thou from Abe. The next day my pay dropped, and I was like, my bank looks so healthy. Then you remember you got to pay bills and rent.
And you're like, oh no. Here comes the Black Death.
Here comes the bills.
Coming to ruin my day.
I'm gonna braid my hair again tomorrow. So I wanted to get some big old headphones, the nice ones, but the only ones I want are Sennheiser?
Yeah.
Love Sennheiser.
The really nice ones,
really
the noise cancelling ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
The noise cancelling ones that on the back of the headphone. It's like a touch panel.
Oh yeah, and you can just slide it up and down. Yeah, I've seen some of those. My old Bluetooth headphones. Not headphones, they're earbuds.
Yeah.
They had that too. If you touched it and swiped up, the volume would go up. And if you held it, it would pause. You press it once, it would resume down and up. And then if you swipe forward and back.
That's the coolest shit.
Yeah. I felt like a fucking secret agent.
I want those headphones so badly.
Because I'm sitting on the train and I'm just doing this.
Yeah, Roger, I can I can
I'm directing a fucking SEAL Team 6 to go kill someone.
Go. But the problem is these headphones cost someone. $300 for these headphones.
Yeah, but with Sennheiser stuff, you're gonna pay for it, and then you'll never buy another headset ever again.
So this is the thing. So the reason I'm such a Sennheiser boy is because when I was in, I want to say high school, something secondary school, scrounged up some money, and I bought this 45-pound pair of headphones, which for a kid that's fucking expensive. 45 pounds for headphones. So I got these massive headphones, and they come with a 5-year warranty. And I used them for 2 years, and then they broke. And I was like, oh, what do I do with these headphones? Are they broken? My mum goes, oh, they have warranty. And I'm like, okay. She's like, just take them back to the store and they can replace them. And I was like, oh shit, seriously? She's like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. So I went back to the store oh great, I'm gonna get the same pair of these 45-pound headphones. It's gonna be great. I go to the store, I'm like, hey, this headphone's broke, so here's the warranty thing, can I get the same pair of headphones? And the guy's like, nope. I'm like, what? He's like, they don't make them anymore.
Yeah, that's what I figured was going to happen. They didn't make them anymore.
I was like, oh no, so what do I do? And he's like, well, we literally can't give you the cheaper headphones.
Yeah.
We can only give you the step up. So
I
got a pair of 85-pound headphones, because those are the only ones they had in stock.
Right.
The guy was like, you came at a good time. The only ones we have in stock are the 65 and the 85 ones, but the 65 they're gone.
And of course, they have to honor that warranty, right?
Here's the thing. The new headphones came with a new warranty.
For another 5 years?
Yep. Well, it's 3 this time, I think. Yeah,
3. It'll get progressively lower as time goes on.
Progressively lower. I remember my last headphones, the warranty was only a year. This is so the 65-pound ones as well. They broke. 85. They broke.
Yeah.
Warranty still valid. Got a new pair of headphones. Ooh, amazing headphones. Used them for 3-4 years until university, and then they broke. And only then did I have no more warranty covering my headphones.
Right.
And I was like, fuck, I gotta pay my own money now?
I had something similar happen to, I built my own computer through a place where I used to live, and they gave you a 3-year warranty on all the parts. So like you basically you go to them with a part list.
Yeah.
And then you say, I want these, build this computer, and they'll build it for you.
Sweet.
Because I'm too lazy to do all that shit.
Yeah, fuck that.
But my motherboard in my old computer crapped out. And I went to them and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with this computer. Like, it literally will not turn on. I think it's the motherboard. So they swap it out and look at it and they're like, oh, yeah, it's the motherboard. And I'm like, oh, well, it's got warranty on it. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. They gave me like a brand new motherboard. Like, it had just come out. And I think like at the time that I bought the motherboard, I had paid like $200 for it.
Yeah.
They gave me like a $600 motherboard.
Jesus Christ.
Like a brand new. I was like, holy fuck. I'm like, and that motherboard lasts me until I came to Japan.
Right.
I didn't even have to replace it.
That's, I think, when I do buy things, I always make sure I want to have warranty on my shit. Like, no matter what it is. I'm like, they're like, do you want warranty? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, how long's warranty? If it's just a year, I'm like, I want longer than a year. I want like
I never buy a year warranty.
Year is like a waste of my time.
Yeah.
Give me 2 or 3 years warranty on this thing because I know for a fact in a year it's not really gonna break.
Right.
And if it does, if I drop, it's like my phone. There was like, do you want like warranty on your screen or something like that? Like,
right.
Do you want a screen thing? I'm like, no. And they're like, no, are you sure? I'm like, in my entire life, I've never broken my phone screen. Mm-hmm. And I never will because I'm not close.
I scratched that phone screen just a little bit.
Yeah.
Fucking shattered. I was like, no. The screen didn't shatter. I was shattered.
Oh, you
because like I never like wreck any like technology I have. Like I could have it for like 10 years and that shit is still pristine.
My original Nintendo DS still works.
I mean, mine's still there.
Yeah, it was over there. No, mine is the first one made.
Oh yeah, the old silver
ones.
Yeah, I still have mine. It still works.
How?
Dude, I have a Game Boy Color that still works.
Yo, same. Mine's a see-through one.
Oh, I bought. Where did I buy mine? I bought the like dandelion yellow. Like it was that color yellow.
Yeah.
And I don't think they
don't make them anymore.
No, they don't.
Like,
well, no. Of course not. But yeah,
dude. Man, I miss. Old technology is great, dude.
Yeah, it is.
So you gotta look after your shit, honestly. It comes in handy. Especially like now. Like, I think if you want old technology, Japan is like the place to go.
Oh, the what's it? Like the second-hand culture here for technology and stuff is crazy.
I got a GameCube here for like nothing.
Yeah, dude, I have a Super Nintendo right there. Right there.
It's so
I bought it the first week I was here.
Good man. Like,
and it wasn't even hard to find. Like, I found like 50 of them. And like, I have good ass games for it too. I have like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 6. I have Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2, F-Zero, Star Fox.
F-Zero?
Like, dude, I have everything you could ever want for the Super Nintendo.
Man, I feel like if you go to any like book off,
there
you go, boom.
Yeah,
every like, console you ever want is there.
And like old games, like the Super Famicom games, like 150 yen.
Yeah, they're nothing.
It's worth nothing.
Because no one wants them, really.
Yeah, not really. Yeah. Except for me.
Except for you. And me sometimes. Yeah. For like collectors and stuff.
So after the podcast last week, I went to Akihabara. And I was in Akihabara and I was looking at buying stuff to do for the contest we want to run.
Which we can eventually run when Corona stops fucking up my entire life. Like, Jesus.
They're going to put Tokyo back on fucking lockdown.
Tokyo's going to be back on lockdown.
Anyway, I debated buying another controller for the Super Famicom. But by the time I decided, I want to go buy one, it was like 8 on a Saturday night in like lockdown time. Everything's fucking closed. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I should have done this when I got here at like 5.
Nothing is open, dude. Everything is just like...
Yeah. It was very weird going to Akihabara during close because I hadn't been there in probably like a year and a half, 2 years. And going back, seeing how many like maids from maid cafes are on the street, I'm like, I feel assaulted. This is weird.
Just hunting down foreigners.
No, it's not even that because like nobody's out, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's out because of Corona. So you just have like, I would say, compared to when I went before, the amount of people, it's like 10%. Like if 100 was like max when I went, it's like 10% now.
Do you know what it is? It's that the made to random like Akihabara customer percentage is way off now.
Yes, there's like, so many. Like it was like
I think the maids haven't changed. I think there's always been that amount of
yes, maids. There's always been that amount of maids,
but you just don't notice because there's so many people walking around.
But it was so weird because it was like they're like every like 10 feet they're spaced out. It's like a fucking parking meter of maids. It's fucking weird. And I'm walking down the street and just like every maid's like, come on, like come into the. Do you want to come 2,000 yen? 2,000 yen an hour, and I'm like,
do you want to come to our shit cafe?
I was like, nope.
Yo, let me tell you right now, boys. So anyone who wants to go to a maid cafe, here's some advice. Ready? Don't go.
Save your money. Do something more interesting.
Save your money. Me and Sean, we went once years ago together to see what it was all about because we had to know.
Right.
It was terrible. Terrible is not the right word. It was a interesting case study. It was fun to sit there and watch the situations unfold. But unless you're like, who's into that? Like moe, cutesy
Japanese dudes.
Yeah, it's you're just gonna find it awkward and sort of uncomfortable. Like, and
especially as a foreigner. Because you that weird like culture of like overly cute stuff.
Yeah.
Is not very pervasive in
like foreign culture,
in Western culture specifically. Yeah. So when you walk into the fucking pastel pink, maid cafe, and you're like, you just cringe.
Yeah,
you're like,
it's so like the worst thing is like a lot of the maids, like some of them speak English because they know there's like foreign clientele who want to come to the maid cafes.
Of course,
and I remember that there was a girl and she just kept speaking and they had this thing like oishikunare, like something like that. It's like make it delicious or something. And they say in a really disgusting cutesy way, which I'm not gonna do because fuck, it makes me like gag. And then like she was like, oh, we can do it in English, and in English it was like make it delicious and like doing like a weird heart thing. And I remember feeling inside my soul, I was like, if I do this, I would then have to kill myself. So
make it delicious sounds like the catchphrase of like a bad YouTube cooking channel.
Oh god, yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
It's like, let's make it delicious, and then there's a jump cut to like starting the recipe. Like
the fucking recipe.
Like, that's exactly what I imagined.
Just like making cereal or something.
Oh god.
Like, step 1, open the box. Woo! Let's make it delicious.
I have to send you this video that's going around. Have you seen the Chinese guy like critiquing the lady from BBC Food?
No, and I need to.
Oh, it's so fucking funny.
I need to.
It's
oh my god.
So fucking funny.
What is she making?
She's making like egg fried rice.
Oh no.
And she she makes the rice, right? And she like cooks it. And she's like, "Oh, the easy way to like measure out how much water you need for the rice is like for 1 part rice you need 2 parts water." And then he just goes, "No. What are you talking about? You use your finger."
Yeah, you do.
Up to the first knuckle.
Up to here. Up to my nail on my thumb.
And he's like, "What are you doing?" Oh, it gets way worse after that.
Send it to me. I gotta see this.
Fuck.
There was a similar one where this British chef was trying to make like Caribbean rice and peas. Do you know Caribbean rice and peas, like kidney beans?
Yeah.
Brown rice. Mm-hmm. Fucking delicious. And this guy was like, I'm gonna make, this famous chef, I'm gonna make Jamaican style rice and peas. And he boiled rice. So already I was like, my boys are out. Then instead of kidney beans, he used like green peas. And then he sort of he baked it or something, and it came out like a weird like risotto. Oh, fuck. Then he put the raw chicken onto the rice and like boiled. Yeah, my man put the raw chicken onto the uncooked rice of water, put it in the oven or something and baked it.
Yo, I'll do that. I'll put the raw chicken on the uncooked rice.
Yeah.
But I'm putting it in my rice cooker because I'm making like
some kind of
kakikomi gohan.
Yeah, kakikomi gohan, yeah.
Which is how you make that dish.
Yeah. He just sort of...
But I'm not putting it in a convection oven.
He put it in like a fucking convection oven with like peas, and he took it out and he had the audacity to be like, there you go, Caribbean style, Jamaican style rice and peas. And the Caribbean community in the UK got pissed.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The fuck's this man doing? And like a Caribbean chef like got really onto this man. He was like, nah man, that ain't how you do it. It was
fuck.
Good. Fuck. Oh, I was gonna tell you the story.
The only man from England that I will trust teaching me about making Jamaican dishes is fucking Ainsley Harriott.
Ainsley Harriott.
He's the only man who I will trust.
What a dude, classic. Fucking Ainsley. I love that dude.
Ainsley's the shit.
There was like this program my uncle used to watch called Saturday Morning Cooks, I think it was called. And Ainsley Harriott was on it. And I watched the show and I'm like, who's this man? Just this bright, shiny man.
Oh, dude, he's so happy.
He's so happy.
He's just, yeah.
He's such a good dude.
He's like the polar opposite in every single way of Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay is like a cranky old fucking white dude.
Love him.
Ainsley is a black, super happy, just like, yeah.
Yeah, dude. This thing is like, I like Ainsley Harriott because he's that really bright, really sunny. Yeah. Like, let's make this food, everything's gonna be good. And I like Gordon Ramsay because of the opposite reason. He's like a massive dickhead, and I love that.
Such an
big boy. Fine dining, we're like a fine fucking mess. I fucking love him so much. It's crispy. Looks like Gandhi's flip flop. Like I fucking love.
Looks like Gandhi's flip flop.
Dude, I love Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay, when he goes on a riff and he just like lets you know, some of the shit he says is so fucking funny.
My favorite one, he just goes, it was a really simple one, it killed me for like 2 weeks. It was Big Boy. It was like, Big Boy, take your jacket and fuck off. It killed me. No, leave the jacket. Fuck off. I was like, yes, Gordon Ramsay.
The fucking, I forget, like, there's like the famous video of him where he's talking about like the raw salmon.
Yeah.
He's like, it's fucking raw. And it's like in the tray and he just goes, boom, he just smashes it and it goes like out the sides.
It's raw. It's fuck, dude. Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Man, I love Ramsay so. Anyway, but then I watch cooking shows like fucking religiously.
Same.
That's what I do. Well, I'm gonna say on the way here. So, my boy's moving out, going back to America. Sad times for everyone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I got like a massive suitcase like in David's door at the moment.
It was funny. I'm sitting here on my computer and I can hear you pull up, and I just hear outside the door, and I'm like, oh, Jordan's here.
Because the suitcase is empty, but I was like, oh, I hate carrying around suitcases. Like, I hate it. It feels so touristy. Like, it's so annoying. But so, I'm on the train. I'm on your line, lines. I'm standing up because I got a suitcase. I'm out of the way. And this old man is like standing kind of too close to me for comfort kind of thing. And I'm looking at this man, I'm like, the train isn't that full that you need to be standing. The train isn't full at all.
No, it's like
middle of the day.
Afternoon, like, Saturday.
Yeah, like, you don't gotta stand this close, my dude. But then, like, got a headphone out, playing, like, games and shit. And the guy, what did he mumble to himself? Like, he was clearly talking about me or kind of to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That weird... He says in Japanese something like, what? Really? Traveling now? Is this the time to travel with Corona? And I look at him, I'm like, me? I'm like, I was in Japanese, I'm like, me? And he's like, I'm like, oh, you thought I couldn't speak Japanese? Yeah, I speak Japanese. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm not traveling. The suitcase is empty. And I pick it up to show it's empty. I'm like, yeah, it's empty. I'm picking up some stuff. And the suitcase was the only
thing I could use.
Big enough, yeah. And he goes, so. And I'm like,
how is it? I see Japanese people every fucking day.
Yeah.
With
suitcases
on the train. Those motherfuckers aren't going on vacation.
They ain't traveling.
They going to work.
Yeah.
So why they got a suitcase? Why is that weird? You're foreign.
I'm foreign. It's foreign plus suitcase equals traveler. But here's the bit that makes the story worthwhile. So I was like, yeah, dude, I'm literally just gonna go do whatever, dude. Like, it's just a suitcase. Like, it doesn't mean I'm traveling. I live in Japan. I live in Tokyo. Like, chill. And he's like, so. And I'm like, yeah. And then, like, the dude sitting, like, under the door. The dude sitting, like, at the seat close to the door.
Yeah.
Just leans forward, says to me in perfect English, yo, dude, sorry about that old guy. Like, Japanese old people are fucking weird, man. And I'm like, right? And he just leans back, and I'm just like, this man's sick. Like, this man is fucking cool. Like,
is he a Japanese dude?
He's a Japanese dude. Just this Japanese dude. He's reading like he's reading like an English book.
Yeah.
He just leans forward and just goes, yeah, sorry about that, man. Like, Japanese old guys are fucking weird, right? And I'm like, yeah, dude. He just leans back again and goes back to his book. Dude, he didn't miss a beat. Like, my man was fucking fantastic.
What the fuck?
Good man. But it's true. Do you know what I think it is? Normally there's like because I've had a lot of like old people speak to me recently. I think it's because normally there's like tons of foreigners in Japan. So they have their choice. Oh, people are like, I'm going to talk to that foreigner today. I'm going to talk to him. Hey, foreigner, why are you eating that onigiri? Hey, Tanaka, hear what I said to the foreigner? It's like, yeah, Tanaka, great joke. Like, there's tons they can choose.
Right, exactly.
But now, no one's
here.
The only guys that live here are like the ones who've lived here for a long time. Like,
the ones that have lived here for a long time, the people who live on the military base, but now they can't even leave.
Nope. Yeah.
So it's just basically people who actually
live here. Yeah. So now they have nothing else to do but talk to like random foreigners. But now there's a higher chance of them bumping into foreigners who actually live here and speak Japanese. So now they're getting fucked, dude. That's like the third old person this week who's tried to talk to me or try to say something snarky to me, which is, I don't take that shit standing there.
Man, I had a fucking the lady at the cash register.
Oh, in the store?
Shoki store, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So, I think it was like last night, we were making okonomiyaki.
Hiroshima style?
No, I saved the yakisoba because I wanted to eat it today.
Good man.
Anyway, I realized, we don't have any cabbage. I have to go buy cabbage. So I go to the store, buy cabbage. I buy like 3 items. I buy cabbage, I buy 2 chuhais, and I think I bought like something for like dessert or something. Oh, I bought pineapple.
I thought the chuhais were dessert.
I mean, they're part of dessert. Anyway, so I go up to the thing, and she's ringing my stuff through, and of course, it's the regular stuff like, do you have a point card? And I go, no. And then she goes, do you want a bag? And I go, yeah. I tell you, hi, onegaishimasu. Hi.
Give me a fucking bag.
Right. Yeah. And then she asked me the question of, which size of bag do you want? Small or big? But the problem is, she's like 4'2", wearing a mask, and behind a plastic screen. So all I hear is,
yeah.
And I'm like,
Huh?
So I thought, because I had already told her, I want a bag.
I want a fucking bag, yeah.
So I thought she's asking me, are you paying with a card? Or with money?
Yeah.
Because that's the next logical thing question, in the thing.
Yeah.
So I point at the machine, I'm like, I'm paying with money, and she goes,
cash,
she does this like, and then repeats herself.
Yeah.
Huh?
Bitch, what are you saying?
I'm like, what? And then she like grabs the bag, like, I'm like, yeah, I already told you I want a bag. And she's like, big or small? And then she goes, chisai toka ookii. Dochira desu ka? Like in a loud voice. And I'm like, chisai. I'm like, why didn't you just do...
Why just say that from the beginning?
Yeah.
God damn.
So here I am, like, looking like the stupid foreigner who can't understand her.
Fucking...
It's like, fuck off. I hate you so much.
I really hate when I come across people who think I can't understand them, and it's just like, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
You're speaking very quietly. I'll have headphones on, and I'll get to the till, and I'll be like taking my headphones out, and they'll be like, I'll speak now while he's taking his headphones out. I won't wait for him to take them out. I'll do it now while he's taking them out, and I'll get both out, and I'll be waiting there because I've not heard him say anything.
Right.
And he's looking at me like, "Hey, dochi desu ka?" I'm like, "Nani?"
Yeah, right, exactly.
I'm like, what the fuck did you say? Like, I was wearing... My music is very loud. I'm trying to block out everything.
Yeah, I mean, and it's even worse. It's bad enough that they talk so fucking quiet, but you're in a supermarket, so all you hear is beep, 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 ching, ching, beep, beep, beep,
sakana, sakana, sakana.
Yeah, exactly, right? Irashaimase! Irashaimase! The guy in the fucking back meat section corner, just screaming Irashaimase at you. Yeah.
Cool. And you're like, man,
you have the MIDI 1980s music playing.
Yeah, that's the worst, dude. Dude, yeah.
That's how you avoid copyright.
Man, that's how you avoid all copyright. Or you just do what Daiso does and like plays the radio all the time. Like,
that works.
Cunts. Absolutely awful. But yeah, so loop around. My boy's leaving. It sucks. Sad times for everyone. People, but then again, I think that happens normally. People just leave Japan after a while.
Yeah.
David, you gonna leave Japan? You gonna leave
Fuck
me?
no. No.
David's like, no. Do
you want to talk about? I think this is like an actual interesting topic because I feel like people who do live here, you kind of have to be like weirdly transient.
Yeah, you do. No,
or like a little bit nomadic.
Yeah. I feel like
Or a lot of people who move here are.
I feel like a lot of people who move here already are. Like, there are a lot of people who come from, like, teaching in, like, I don't know, like...
Wherever.
Thailand, Korea, then they come to Japan. Yeah. They're like, I'm in Japan now, I'm teaching. And I don't know, I feel like I hate those people the most. Do you know what I mean? Like...
Why is that?
I feel like... So, the few people I've met who have taught in, like, various countries always seem to have this sort of... Oh, I'm so worldly. I know everything.
Yeah.
I've been everywhere. Like, a guy I met a while ago, like, in Izakaya, he'd been in Japan for, like, 2 weeks? Mm-hmm. 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
2 weeks?
Yeah, like 2-3 weeks. Yeah, that's it. It was like 2-3 weeks. And so he wasn't part of my group, it's a different group entirely. And he's like, oh man, like, Japan is great, man. I've been there for like 2 weeks. I've done like this and this. It's so good. I'm like, yo, dude, enjoy it. It's going to be good. Mm-hmm. So at this stage, I'm thinking this guy is just like a tourist. Right. So I'm like, yo, dude, that's sick. Like, travel around, like, see all of Japan, get out of Tokyo, go Kyoto and shit. Like, it's great. And he's like, yeah, man, I was in Korea before that. And before that, I was in, like, China. And before China, I was in some Philippines, stuff like that. And I'm like, cool. Nice. You're traveling a lot. Sounds good. And he's like, no, man, I was, like, teaching English there. You know, seeing the smiling faces of kids. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What is this man talking about? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I just say directly, I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Like, it sounds like I'm starting the conversation from, like, the beginning, from the start. Right. And you're starting from, like, halfway down the line. Like, mm-hmm. what is happening here? And he just kept explaining his, like, teaching in other countries, like, he was enlightened by teaching these kids. And I was like, dude, you were just underpaid to, like, play games of...
You're talking about those people who, like, go to Asia and they're like, I need to find myself.
Yeah. Guys, they come back to guys, in Japan, they have this thing called green tea. Oh, matcha in the native tongue. Oh.
There are people who legitimately talk like that.
Yeah, there are.
And I fucking hate them.
Hate them, dude. I can't be in the same room as them because I can't deal with their, like, that level of bullshit. It's like, man, yo, David, have you had this thing called pardon my pronunciation, gyudon? We had that, David. A gyudon. David, life-changing from a little store called a Skia.
Skia? Do you know Skia? Do you know Skia? You ever been to Skia?
You ever been to Skia?
I know a place.
Fuck off.
Skia. It's really great.
So bad. But no, I feel like you do have to be very nomadic in the way you're traveling around.
A little bit.
Especially with the friends you keep here.
Yeah, I think if you are going to make friends here, you have to understand that those relationships might be a little bit short-lived. Yeah. In some cases.
Yeah. I feel like you've got to work out who's going to be here long... If you're going to be here long-term as well. Yeah. I feel like it's up to you to sort of set yourself up here to be here for long-term. Right, yeah. So, like, okay, I'm going to be... I don't want to leave Japan, for example. I'm going to stay here forever. So, okay, let me get my own house, my own phone contract, make sure that I'm set up, make sure I have a group of, like, people. Because if you're coming to Japan from, like, whatever country you're coming from, right, you don't really have a support network here.
No, like, nothing. So you're starting from zero.
Yeah, so getting, like, a good group of friends that are also going to be here for a long time, or that are, they're like-minded people. Yeah. That's really going to help in the long run. But, man, people dip.
Yeah, dude, like... I mean, you just have to look at who we knew when we came. Because we've been here 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
So, I don't need to name names, but I'm going to try to think, like...
How many?
She's gone. Right. He's gone.
It's...
At least of, like, the group we had to start was probably, like, what, 13, 14 people? Yeah. I think maybe 7 of them are still here. Like, 5.
5.
And then...
7 are still here. Yeah. 2 are leaving.
2 are leaving now.
1's leaving next week. The other one's leaving next month.
Right, yeah.
And then, so pretty much out of the group we kind of made, there are like 5 left.
Yeah. And it's not even like, oh, there's 5 left in Tokyo and we all live close to each other. It's like,
oh, no.
There's 5 left and someone lives like 2 hours down the train line one way.
So we were all sort of in the same area, so to speak, to begin with. But now everyone's scattered, yeah. Like, I was in Kanagawa, now I'm in Tokyo. Yeah. Like, the rest were in Kanagawa, some are up in, like, Yokohama.
I was in Kawasaki, and then I moved to Tokyo, and now I'm back in Yokohama.
It's so nomadic, the way that people sort of travel around and live in this country. But it makes sense. But I feel like you kind of have to be that way.
Yeah.
You got to be really selfish in the way that you're living in Japan.
I think so. Until you really set up a base of like, you know, I have money, I have a house, I have like maybe a girlfriend or boyfriend or wife or husband.
Yeah.
Like until you've hit that level, then
just move around.
Yeah, you're fine.
Just move around, honestly.
I feel like some people try and fast track that.
Yo, people try to fast track that.
Do not fast track your staying here.
I've heard some interesting stories, and I can tell one because it's pretty fun. And it's about this dude who had no degree, but he came to Japan anyway because he.
How the fuck did he get here? Like a
got
job?
married.
Okay.
This is the fast track, yeah.
I see. I see where the down here spiral already starts.
Man, it was beautiful. So he got married to come to Japan, basically. Mm-hmm. And then they're in Japan. He's working in, I think it was an eikaiwa.
Yep.
Ooh. No worries.
Sorry.
So working like an eikaiwa for a while. And obviously no degree, so it's like, you can't really do anything else.
Right, because no one will hire you.
No one will really hire you, unless you can't really start your own business. Even sometimes they're like, your degree. So there's a day I'm in my house, you know, doing a little drinking, doing a little studying. And then I get a call from, not the guy, I never met the guy. It was like the guy's sort of wife. Okay. And she's like, oh, hey, like, husband wants to do what you're doing. He wants to, like, sort of level up. He wants to, like, do writing. He wants to do this. Like, how does he get there? How does he do that? Mm. And I'm like, oh, does he have a degree? Does he have experience? Like, what is he doing here? And she's like, oh, he's doing this. And I'm like, okay, does he speak Japanese? Does he do this? She's like, no. I'm like, okay, like, so he probably needs to get a degree. Online university, maybe, like, do something. Do
whatever you have
to do. You have to get it done. Because in fast-tracking your way to the country, and fast-tracking your way to the base, you have skipped so many steps. You will hit the biggest wall of your life, and it will take you years.
Yeah, because like if you're coming over as a spouse to someone who's Japanese and you're already married, right? Mm-hmm. It's like you are, you have no build up, right?
Yeah.
So now you have permanent residency, but you're basically inept in every single way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like. You know how like people are like, oh, I'll just marry my mail order bride. Yeah. Like you are literally a mail order bride.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can cook and you can clean and maybe you can speak another language.
Maybe.
But other than that, like really, what do you have?
Nothing.
I
feel like people who rush too quickly into a situation, you're gonna find yourself like stuck as well. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like a lot of people find themselves stuck in Japan, where like.
Where going home is not a good idea, but staying here is not great either.
Exactly. Like you've been here for so long that and you've not developed enough skills, that if you then suddenly go home, you will be handicapped in the market. Because it will be like in the job market. Because they're going to ask, wow, you've been in Japan for like, I don't know, let's say 10 years. Why have you been in Japan for 10 years? Yeah. What skills did you get? Well, I don't know. I'm really good at teaching now. I can teach fantastically. Oh, fantastic. So do you have a degree in teaching? No. Okay, Japan 10 years. How's your Japanese? It's okay.
And what does okay mean?
What is okay? What do you have to show?
If you're in an interview and they ask you, how's your Japanese? You go, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what? Okay to talk to the president? Okay to talk to children who are 3?
Literally.
Like,
what are you going to do here?
Yeah.
So you've handicapped yourself to an extent where you can't go back home because there's no options there.
Right.
And then you don't really want to stay in Japan, but you don't really have a choice now because this is sort of where you've made your hub. So now you're here. So I feel like what people do is that some people stay for like 3-4 years and then they leave.
Yeah.
And you feel like, oh man, bro, why are you leaving? Like, there's such good times that still be had. Like, we can still do this. But I feel like those are the wisest people because they understand like there is a point when you need to make a choice. Do I dig deep in Japan and make this my hub and study what I need to study and get the skills I need to get to live in Japan to prosper here? And if perhaps it doesn't work out, I'll have enough skills to then go home and do something. Exactly. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have like the stick-to-itiveness to do it.
Right.
Sometimes you got to pull the chute.
Yeah, it's weird. I have heard of some people who they'll come over on like teaching or something, or like they'll do baito or some other thing, right? And they'll get skills, and then they'll go back to wherever they're from, and and like apply to Japanese companies in their own company.
Yeah.
Or in their own country, sorry. And then end up getting transferred back to Japan, which is kind of like the big brain move, right?
That's fucking big brain.
Because now you have a job where you're doing whatever you need to do in your old country.
Yeah.
And then they just sent you back to Japan where you actually may want to live. And now you're just like, I figured it out.
That is so big brain. Shit, dude.
Yeah, there's some people, like I know there was a guy who he had worked here, then he moved back home. He got like a position at like Toyota or something.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then Toyota was like, oh, you live in Japan, you can speak Japanese. We're going to send you as the English rep to Japan. And there you go.
What a setup.
So he's just like, yeah, great.
Dude, that's great. What the fuck? Oh no.
There's a lot of places along that path where you can just you can get fucked over, right?
Yeah.
Because imagine you go back home and you don't get that lucky break where you can go to, you know, a Japanese company and be like, hey, I lived here, I did this, I have these skills, yada yada, right? And they go, okay, cool.
All right, back to your office.
Bye.
Or worse of all, if there are two people with the same plan, and they're both doing the plan at the exact same time. So for you know, your friend could have been like, I can do this plan, he gets there. Yeah. And there's another dickhead who did the exact same plan. But your friend was just a little bit better. So they were like, sorry about this, John Smith. We're going to send other John Smith to Japan instead.
Yeah, exactly,
fuck
right?
you, John Smith number
one.
Then
it's like, fuck. Like, now I fucked up.
Dude, man, that'd suck. Then you're stuck in whatever shithole country you don't want to be in initially anyway. Oh, it sucks, dude.
That's the thing. Like, I don't think I'll go home. Mostly because I don't, as someone who is like professionally a teacher, so I'm teaching here, and then I would go back to Canada to be a teacher. Is that I don't want to teach in North American schools. Yeah, I don't like the system. I don't like how just neutered teachers are. Like, they have no autonomy to do anything. And like, you know, you have kids who like, you know, are in your class and go like, oh, you're a fucking piece of shit, cunt, fuck you. And like, you have no recourse to do anything about that.
Yeah, kids suck.
So it's like, here, like, no kids, you know, mouthing me off. Like, maybe the kid's like bad, but like, any school that I've ever been to, the worst is like, oh no, he talked to his friend while I was talking. Like, I'm like, dude, I don't fucking care. It's like, if you don't want to learn English, I don't give a fuck. That isn't going to be my problem,
man,
dude.
I gave that same speech to these kids this one time in like, I think it was junior high school when I was teaching there. And these kids are like just fucking around. And I was like, bro, I was like, I don't care if you learn English or not, but y'all need to like shut up while I'm explaining things. And then once the game starts, like just play the game.
Yeah, or don't.
Or don't. For like, sit at your desk and sleep. Like, there's a kid who would just like, every lesson, he would sit at his desk and just sleep. Every single lesson. And then my English teachers were like, oh, I'll wake him up so he can focus on your lesson. Now, he don't care, clearly. Is he awake in other lessons? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, then he's good. Leave him. He doesn't want to learn English. It's fine. Yeah. Like, I didn't want to learn French.
Yeah. It's you know, you can't force a kid to learn. If they don't want to learn English, they won't learn English.
Man, you can't force a kid to learn another language, especially. Impossible. You can like give them sort of passion about the language. You can make them see how interesting the language is and maybe how useful it is. You can be like, look, I can do all this things.
If there isn't that intrinsic like motivation, right?
They're not gonna do it.
They're not gonna do it because why would you?
Like, I thought when I was learning Spanish, because I was like, Spanish is interesting. I didn't really have a passion for Spanish, so my Spanish was trash. Like, awful. So bad. Maybe I was a D+ student. Right. At the best of times. Spanish didn't click. Just didn't care. So I'm thinking, I have no talent in languages. I just can't learn a language. Then I picked up like Japanese and I'm like, I'm really good at Japanese now.
I actually care to learn.
I actually wanted to learn this language.
Weird how when you give a shit.
Man, giving a shit changes everything. David, let me tell you about giving a shit. Yeah. Fucking changes everything, dude. Your focus like triples. It's amazing.
Yeah, I was the same way because like in Canada you have to learn French as a second language up to the 6th grade, and just every fucking French teacher I had was just absolute trash garbage, and I hated French, and I think if I had good teachers and like I actually liked learning French, I would probably know French.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
You know, by the time it got to 6th grade and they're like, okay, now you have an option. You can either do something else or learn French. And I'm just like, fuck that.
Like,
I'm not learning French. Like, why would I want to learn French?
Hold on. Something else was an option. Hit
Yeah.
that button real quickly. Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
I get that. Well, it's true. I feel like when it comes to living in Japan, you do need that passion to learn the language.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
At least on some level.
At least on some level, honestly. Like, I mean, I can't. I know people can live in Japan for like X amount of years without speaking the language, but I feel like it really does like handicap you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the people who don't learn but are okay with not learning are just they're people who are okay kind of being bottom of the rung
kind of thing. Yeah,
like they're weirdly content with where they are, and like if that's your thing, then
it's chill.
Fine, cool. Like I knew a dude. He actually moved back this year as well. He'd been here like 12 years. But he'd been doing the same job for 12 years.
Oh my god.
And it's like not a great job and the pay is low and whatever, but he'd been doing it for 12 years.
12
years? And I was like, I asked him, I'm like, why didn't you ever like move to another job or do something else?
Yeah.
And his answer was, he's like, I was comfortable. Like, he's like, I had no problems. I was comfortable. I was fine. Why would I? He's like, I had the time to do what I wanted to do. I had the money to do what I wanted to do. I wasn't rich, but I had the money to do what I wanted to do. So why would I change what I'm doing?
See, I never want to be comfortable. That's me. I never want to be comfortable. I want to be constantly moving forward. Like I hate the idea of like getting into a job and just being like, wow, everything's good. Like I'm making okay money. The work is okay. It's not that difficult. Everything's fine. I don't want that. I want to making a lot of money. And I want to be having like days where I go and I'm like, how am I going to complete these tasks? This is a difficult day. Like I want challenge. I want like, and I want my challenge to be met with money. And I'm like, Jordan, good job completing those challenges. Here's your bonus and also a raise. And I'm like, yo, that's what I want. I don't want good job ticking that box and writing that sentence. Yeah. Here's the pay you've been making for fucking 12 years. Shoot myself. But I don't want to do that.
I think that highly depends on what job you got. But yeah.
I want a bonus.
You want a bonus?
I want a bonus so I can buy headphones that cost some money.
Don't we all, my dude?
Don't we all, my dude?
Don't we all?
We all want some headphones that we can't afford because we don't get bonuses.
Yeah. I ain't seen a bonus.
Man, I ain't seen a bonus ever. I don't know what a bonus looks like. Yeah. My friend, so because of Corona, like, they weren't getting bonuses. My friend wasn't. So she was like, oh, man, we didn't get a bonus this year because the company wasn't making money and, like, there was no bonus. And I was like, bitch, I ain't seen a bonus. River. Cry me a fucking river. I don't know what bonus look like. When a bonus enters my account, what happens? Yeah. Is there fireworks? I don't know. Is there celebrations? I don't know. No one's told me what the bonus looks like.
Yeah. Bonus is like, oh, someone gave me a free sample at Costco. That's a bonus.
Yo, that's a bonus, Dave. David, listen.
That's the only bonus I know, right?
That's a fucking bonus, David.
But other than that...
David, I was in Costco, okay? I walk around the aisles, and a woman goes, hey, do the afro. And I'm like, me? It's always me. It's like, me? She's like, I got this wine. I'm like, go on.
Continue.
Go on. She's like, it's red. And I'm like, She's like, are you driving? I'm like, bitch, I can't even drive. She's like, good. Do you want to drink some of this wine? I'm like,
because like, yeah, who's drinking wine as like sampler things?
Man, Costco, dude.
Yeah, I guess
that wine was it was good. Did I buy a bottle, David? No, don't be silly. I bought 2. That wine was so good, David. I was like, I'll buy a bottle or 2. Then I'm laughing. I'm like, ha ha. And the woman's like, ha 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 ha. Look at this foreigner picking up 2 bottles, making this great foreign joke. Ha ha ha. American gag. Then I put them in my basket, and she's like, ha ha ha. He's an alcoholic. I'm like, there you go. He got it. He got it.
Figured it out.
Figured it out, B. That's the answer. But yeah, it was that's to me. That's what a bonus feels like.
Right.
It feels like drinking some free wine and then buying 2 bottles.
Which is definitely not a bonus.
David, I don't know what it feels like. Okay.
What's the opposite of a bonus?
Deficit.
Deficit.
A beating.
Yeah.
fucking pay cut.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yo, if they ever cut my pay, I'd quit, like, on the spot.
Fuck.
On the spot.
Dude, man, like, most of the jobs that foreigners work here, if they cut their pay, you'd be dead.
You'd be dead. Yeah.
You'd be dead.
It's mostly, like, I've heard some pretty bad stories about people working what is borderline slavery wages. Like, pretty much just enough to survive, but nowhere near enough to save. Like, every penny you have in your account
is going toward being alive.
Yeah, literally. It's going towards being alive.
Fucked up.
Dude, it's fucked, man, honestly. I was talking to someone who was telling me that by the end of the month, like, they know how close payday is by how their account looks. Because they do the same thing every month. They're like, oh, there is, like, 12,000 yen in my account. Payday is, like, 5 days away.
Right.
Because of how their life is, like...
I kind of do that myself in my head. I'm like... But it's for saving, right?
There we go. Yeah.
So like I'll get my money on payday.
Yeah.
And I look at how much I have, and I'm like, okay, by next payday, I cannot go below.
That's what I do.
This number.
That's what I do. I'm like, okay, I've got this much now by payday. I wait till the rent comes out, the bills come out, and I go, okay, I have this. I can't go below this number. And then if I do, there's like there's like a punishment, which is always
like,
sucks.
Guess I'm not eating, whatever this week.
Yeah, whatever delicious thing I wanted to eat. Like I can't have it. I wanted to go Costco last payday. I wanted to buy this like a poke bowl mixture. Just fucking delicious, dude. I wanted it. But I was like, I can't go below this amount of money. But I did, because I went to Corfu.
Right.
And I fucked around there for 4 days, and I drank way too much. And I checked my account by the end of it, and I was like, I went below that. I can no longer justify.
I can no longer do anything until next payday.
Literally, I was like, I can no longer justify all the things I wanted to do, because I went not way below, but I below enough that I was like, not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
Consider, like, I know most of the people that listen to this podcast live in Japan.
Yeah.
So they're probably just sitting there going,
You right.
You right. So
You right.
I'm not gonna preach to the choir, but people who are moving here understand that you're moving here and you're not making like a huge wage.
Of money, yeah. I feel like unless you come in with even if you come in with like some kind of crazy wanted skill,
right,
you're still not really making a huge wage.
Not compared to like Japanese people who work at a company for like 20 years and then make like a fucking 20 mong bonus.
And to circle that round, that's probably why people leave.
Yeah, probably.
So I think that's also why you got to be really transitional with the way you're working in Japan. Like, don't be afraid to just quit your job and change.
Change because jobs. You're at the bottom of the rung, right?
Yeah.
So like, you're moving to a job that's either up or to the side.
Yeah. Make lateral moves, man. Just keep going up. I feel like, especially living in Japan for a while, and sort of when you understand the system, you get how things work, like you realize that where you are on the totem pole, and the closer you are to the bottom, the less you have to lose.
Right. Yeah.
So fuck it.
Like if you know that you're like, man, I want to quit my job, save up 2 months rent.
Oh yeah.
And then just bounce.
I did that.
Bye.
Great.
Because in 2 months, if you can't find another job, then you should probably just go home.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because you're not gonna have the safety net to be like, oh yeah, I can live another month.
Yeah.
Like
just
don't do it. Just go home because you'll be better off.
You always come back.
Unfortunately, yeah, you can always come back. Well,
it's not hard.
Now you can't, but
now you can.
You could have.
You could have before Coronioni stopped everything happening.
Yeah.
I mean, in 2 months, you can find a job.
Oh yeah, like if you're out there like looking at stuff, you'll find one.
So my friend is she's still living in Korea, and she's going back to London.
Yeah.
So, man, this is how hard it is to find jobs in London. She has a spreadsheet, which she has basically written down all the jobs she wants to apply for.
Right.
One she has applied for, the status of those like applications, and she said to me something like, we're in a group call, it's me, her, like a different friend from my career, and she's like, oh, I'm trying to apply for like 20 jobs a day so I can get this much by the end of the month, and
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yep, makes sense. Yep, makes sense. And the other girl who was in the conversation was like, what? 20 a day? Wait, how many are you applying for by the end of the thing? And she's like, I don't know, 500?
Yeah, because, man, knowing what I know now, looking for jobs, like 90% of those people don't even contact you back. No. Which to me makes no sense.
They don't.
What, like, it's like, yeah, we're looking for people, and then you apply, and then just nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So it's like, what? Are you looking or not?
Sometimes they hire internally, sometimes the job just gets hired. Like, someone gets there and it snaps hired. Like, it's, especially in London, like, coming from London, it's like you're playing, if job hunting was a game, you're applying for jobs in London, you're playing fucking Dark Souls, no armor, daggers only, no magic. Like, you can't roll. Like,
and you can't roll.
You can't even roll. You can only sidestep, and even then, fucking, you're gonna get smashed. Like, that is how you're job hunting in London. You're applying for tons of jobs a day, and you ain't gonna hear back from most of them because it's London.
Yep.
Everyone else is doing the same thing. Come to Japan to apply for jobs, and I was like, hold on a minute. This is easier. It's not easy.
Yeah.
I would never say it's easy, but it's way easier than applying back in London.
I think so. Yeah, even back home where I was from, it was the same thing. I'd apply to 10 jobs a day, and like at the end of the month, I'd get 1 or 0 callbacks.
Yeah, just being like, hey,
it's
dude.
Like, no. And to me, it's like weird because it's like, you know, both of us, we have university degrees, we speak another language, but like by that time, like I graduated, I had a minor in Japanese, right? Nice. But like nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, you don't speak French? I don't give a shit. It's like,
yeah, that's kind of the...
Okay, well, where am I going to use this Japanese? Obviously, you're going to use it in Japan.
Yeah.
But, like, nobody gives a shit if you have a language like that. Nobody cares.
Nah. I lucked out working for, like, the store Fortnum & Mason because they had a bunch of Japanese customers and I had no idea. So when I applied there, they were basically like, oh, you can basically be, like, the new Japanese interpreter and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you guys have lots of Japanese clientele here? And they're like, yeah, tons during Christmas time.
Weird.
Dude, weird. And they're all wealthy and they all tip well because they realize that tipping is a thing in London, but they don't know when to do it or how to do it. So people just giving me 20s and shit. And I was like, yo, fuck yeah, dude.
It was fun going back home. We went to Banff in Alberta, where I live. There's a lot of Japanese people there.
Yeah.
So it was just fun. We went. There's like a pretty famous like a shop that makes like fudge, right?
Oh, fudge!
Like handmade fudge, and they've been around forever, right?
Gotta go.
And I didn't realize that the owner who works there is Japanese. So when I went back, and I'm buying fudge and whatever, and she's like yelling to her husband in the back in Japanese, nice. And I'm like, "Oh, you're Japanese." Yeah. And I asked her in Japanese. She's like, "You speak Japanese? Like, what the fuck?"
Nice, dude.
Yeah, it like that was like, oh, finally, like I've used this, like a place where I could actually work and do something, but like
my skill.
Yeah, but up until then, I just like outside of class, I'd never fucking use it. So.
Yeah. But we had like Japanese like societies in our school, which are great to make use of.
We did too. But I think a lot of people... Oh, man. This gets into a completely different thing. So, in Japan, you have Gaijin hunters. Oh, man. It's the same shit, only in reverse back where I was. Yeah. People try and use this fucking thing like Tinder, right? Like, there are people who would come to talk to Japanese people to make friends so they could speak in Japanese. And then there's other people who, like, don't know fuck all Japanese, but their friend does. So they come with their friend, and they're just sitting there like a fucking... rock. But they're like, oh, I can meet a cute Japanese girl. And I'm just like, I fucking hate you so much.
We had 2 societies. We had the anime society, which was full of people like that. Then we had like the Japanese society, which is like Japanese coach. It was drinking. We just drank all the time. It was sick, dude.
Yeah.
But when I became the president of that society, bruh, I ruled with a fucking iron fist. There was no shenanigans to be had. Like, it was like Jordan's harem. It was like, you can come to my harem. It's fine. You can look at the girls. It's fine. You fucking touch one of these girls, I'll wreck you, dude. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it.
It got bad to the point where the president literally had to do that. He's like, yo, if you are here and you don't speak Japanese and you have no interest in speaking Japanese, get the fuck out.
Yeah,
like he literally stood in front of everyone and he said, if you don't know Japanese and you're not here to speak Japanese right now, get the fuck out.
Yeah, honestly. Because why are you here?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't for you then. Like, stop being a cunt. There was a lot of that. There was a lot of, like, some really weird people. Like skulking around, like being creepy. Like one guy was like, what did he say? We had this meeting with the Japanese chicks, all the Japanese girls in society, and I was like, all right, guys, listen, this is the UK. People are fucking sleazy. Like, what's your idea about the UK? And they're like, oh, English guys are gentlemen. I'm like, bullshit. Especially in university, everyone's a cunt. Be careful. Yeah. So like telling them the rules, I'm like, be careful of guys that cunts. Like, don't invite guys to your house because they'll think it means like fucking. Don't do this because they'll think it means this. Don't do. I'm basically laying out the ground rules of like living in the university and like living in Japan. And then got a couple like line messages from girls in Japanese based like, hey, this guy is like saying he wants to walk me back to my accommodation in Parkwood, and like I don't live like in the student village. He's like, he doesn't live anywhere near me. Like, what is this?
Right.
I was like, he's probably trying to fuck. He's like, I'm like, are you interested? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, if you're not interested, just say like,
nah, I'm good.
Nah, I'm good. I'll walk myself home. And if you're interested, be like, yeah, you can walk me home. She's like, oh, thanks. I had so many of those messages of people like, hey, a guy said this. What does it mean? I'm like, probably he's being creepy. You can block him. He's like, thanks, President. Like, dude, it was good. It was a good life.
Yep. And I mean, those people exist here too.
They do. There's tons here in Japan as well.
Yeah.
Like, you get people here who are doing really bad nampa and izakayas and stuff. I saw it recently and it was
cringe.
Oh, so fucking cringe, dude. The guy spoke like really good Japanese as well. But he was like in his 40s, and the way he was trying to talk to these young chicks, I was like, you are so creepy. Like your approach, the things you're saying, like you can't just insert yourself into a group as a large white man and just be like, hey girls, like, that's what you guys drinking? Whoa, that's so cool.
It's like, you could be my dad, fuck off.
I went over to him because I was like, oh, is this guy, does he know these girls? I knew the dude, so I was like, oh, do you know these girls? It's cool, like, let's hang out. And I jump up and I'm like, yeah, what up, man, who are the girls? And he's like, oh, we just met. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna phase myself out of this.
Bye.
You know that?
Homer Simpson into the bushes.
That was me. I fucking Simpsoned back into like the atmosphere. I was like, oh, I can't be involved in this cringe, man. What is that quote? I can't let my pride get caught up in your failure.
True enough.
Dude, I dipped. I was like, nah, man, I can't get involved in this.
Oh, speaking of that was another thing. I wanted to talk about it last week.
Go on.
But just like foreigners who like, in that guy's case, it's not quite, but it reminded me, like foreigners who are very like know-it-all foreigners.
Oh, these cunts are the best.
And
oh yes.
And I say that knowing full well that we have a podcast where we talk about like we know what the fuck we're talking about.
No. That's the thing. We know we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Do not take any of this as gospel.
Nah. The only things I say that are gospel is like if I'm talking about my hair or I'm talking about coffee, that's gospel. I know my shit.
Yep.
I'm talking about bullshit about Japan. I mean, that's hit or miss. I don't know. I don't know
right.
what's going on there. Anyway,
your mileage may vary.
Your mileage may fucking vary, my dude.
But I can tell you right now, being a creepy fuck, 0 miles.
Yo, 0 miles. One. Man, do you actually know people who do that weird, like gatekeeping stuff in Tokyo, do you mean? Or how do you mean?
Like personally?
Yeah.
Not really.
Good man, dodged a bullet.
I don't think so. At least not. Maybe it's me. Oh no. There's the horrible realization, right? Maybe I'm that guy.
Maybe I'm that guy. What stories have you heard about weird people doing this bullshit?
Just like so. I think you had posted on Twitter. And you had commented on a story about a guy who was like writing an article for like Japan Times.
Yes.
About like dating Asian women and this and like there's like a thing about what is he talking about, like silence, like I'll talk about this and then she'll just say nothing and blah blah blah, and like he goes on this thing, like this huge fucking diatribe about how there's cultural differences and like in like communication between different cultures and like silence doesn't mean blah blah blah, right? And he goes through this whole fucking diatribe about this shit, and then at the end of his sentence or the end of his article, his like writer profile says he's like he says he's like an intercultural like coach, intercultural communication coach. That's what it was. Yeah. Sorry, that took so long to get it out. And I'm just like, how can you write this entire article explaining about how you are so fucking inept that you cannot you cannot even understand your your Japanese wife and then say that you're an international or intercultural communication coach. You look like a fucking idiot.
The entire article is based so I boiled down the article to a man went on a really bad date where he said nothing of importance, was really boring, but the woman he was dating clearly just wanted to get married and married him anyway. Because he said something on the lines of, she spoke very good English, like fantastic English. I made a comment about Asian international relations, to which she just nodded and said nothing. My intellect didn't persuade her to talk more. And it's like, well, of course not. Because what's happening? What's actually happened from like a third person point of view is that you've come to this restaurant with this woman, you've sat her down, and you've just berated her with boring conversation topics for like 2 hours. No, if I like East Asian politics. I studied East Asian politics. If I went on a date, there's no fucking way I'd bring up East Asian politics.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
And if my date brought up East Asian politics, I'd be like, this bitch is weird. Why is she talking about East Asian politics?
Yeah. And like the fact that he says like, oh, she spoke really good English, but then she didn't say anything. Yeah. It's like that's like a red flag, dude, because wouldn't you have like a conversation? Like it boggles my mind. And it just makes me go like, oh, you're that guy.
Yeah, he's that guy.
You're that Gaijin that women will talk to me about and be like, yo, I went on this date with this fucking weirdo and he never shut the fuck up and all he did was talk and blah 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 blah. And she's like, well, I really didn't know what to say because it's just like, fuck, what the fuck.
I have lots of female friends in Japan, only because when I first came here, the girls spoke more English than the guys. My Japanese was trash. And when I tried to start conversations with guys, they wouldn't really, like, I couldn't get them off the ground.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way. Like,
you know what I mean?
All of my Japanese friends here are women.
Like,
all of them.
I have more male friends now because I really worked hard to get more male friends.
It's rough.
It's rough, but the vast majority are still women. Yeah. So, saying that, I'm normally the girl's only foreign friend. I'm the touchwood in this girl's life when it comes to dating foreigners and such. So, for example, listeners, if you go on a really cringy bad date with a Japanese girl, and I know this girl, she'll tell me about it.
Mm-hmm.
She'll tell her one foreign friend about the bad date. Like, I've had calls at like 10 o'clock at night, and I've been half asleep, and it's been like, Jordan, I just went on the worst day ever. And I'm like, let me make some tea. And I will sit there and listen to this woman talk for 2 hours about how bad the date was. And she'll go into detail. Because women go into detail.
Mm-hmm.
The best one I heard was, the guy said, let's go to... He goes, a really good place I know. It's really, really nice. David knows this is going. David's already panicking.
When you hear the phrase out of a foreigner that says, I know a place, they don't know a place.
They don't know a place.
They don't.
They don't.
Because they would say, let's go here.
Yeah. There we go.
They wouldn't say, I know a place, because that's a very, like, presumptuous thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're saying, oh, you wouldn't know about it. It's too cool. It's too like, nobody talks like that, right? You'd be like, oh, let's go to
this place.
So
the one place I know that is kind of like my I know a place kind of thing is the izakaya Hanbei.
Yeah.
Because Japanese people, for some reason, don't know about Hanbei. Like, a bunch do, but a lot don't, which is weird. Because it's like a little Showa era.
Showa. We talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it before. Me and David like to go there and get fucked up. It's so good, David.
Yes,
fucking
yes, it is.
We'll go there. We need to go again. So, when I take for that, but let's go to this really good izakaya. I take guests there who've come overseas because it's really interesting, really Japanese.
Yeah.
I take friends who've never been there before because it's fun. And at no point have I ever gone, I know a really good place. I always go, hey, let's go Hanbei.
Yeah, exactly.
And they go, oh, what's Hanbei? And I go, oh, it's like a Showa area izakaya. And they go, oh, cool, let's go. It sounds cool. And I'm like, yeah, it's like a chain store. They go, oh, shit, it's a chain store? Like, it's a franchise? They're like, yeah. I'm like, let's go. It's great.
It's always people who are like, oh, I know a place. But then they want to, like, keep this mystery about, oh, because I'm so well-traveled and I'm cultured, I know where to go. But then they take you to Torikizoku and you're just like,
If a man,
what the fuck?
If a man says, "I know a place," bitch, you go in gusto. Like, bitch, you go to a gusto, dude. Because
I know a place.
The bitch went to
Jonathan's.
The bitch went to Augusto that day.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually Augusto.
Fuck.
Do you know his reason? He was like, "Oh,
an asshole.
Yeah,
stupid.
Yeah. Well, all of those things. Plus, he didn't realize that Gusto was also like a chain family restaurant.
They're fucking everywhere. Like, have you left your house?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Clearly.
So she was like, the worst thing is like, so they went to the Gusto, and she was like, I actually like family restaurants.
Yeah, they're not bad.
They ain't bad. So she was like, it makes sense for a first date to go to like a family restaurant. Like, you don't want to invest too much in it. It's kind of cheap. A cafe would be better, but fair enough. Like, you don't want to spend like none money on this girl you've just fucking met.
Mm-hmm.
Fair dues.
Perfectly
okay.
fine.
An economically sound man. Fine. Live your life. Everything's okay. So went to the fucking Gusto. They got whatever they got. The conversation was bland. What's the words? It was bland. She was like, it was very bland. We didn't go anywhere. It was shit, basically. So she was afterwards, they were like, let's go for like a drink afterwards. David knows where this man took her.
They're going for a drink after Gusto.
After Gusto.
Can I get it in one?
David, can you get it in one? Where are they going for a drink?
Does it start with an H?
Oh my god, David. Sydney, do we have an H? We have an H.
I mean, I guess technically it starts with a T.
Oh, no, we don't include that. It starts with an H. Yeah.
Yeah, they went to Hub.
They went to fucking Hub.
Fuck Hub.
Fuck Hub. It's the worst place in Japan.
Oh, by far. I don't know how. I literally, like, I don't know how Hub still operates.
Foreigners.
I guess. That is the exact same. Foreigners taking shitty dates to Hub.
To the fucking Hub. Like, for those who don't know, there might be some. The Hub is like a very shit bar.
Yeah.
It's themed after an English style pub.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue is it's trash. Like, it's very expensive. The food isn't that good. The clientele are awful. Like, it's not a fun place to go and relax. It's not a date spot. It's trash. There's one in like,
it's bad. It's
trash.
fucking bad.
I think
they're everywhere, and it's fucking bad.
They're awful, but they'll never go because people keep going there and giving them money, and that upsets me. I went to remember when I crashed that Nova party? That was so sick.
Were you crashed a Nova party?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, hang on. I need to hear this story. Okay, this should be good.
Okay, so my friend went to Nova, the English school. Japanese. Japanese all her kids all went to Nova to study.
Did you hear about Nova recently?
Dude, I wrote an article about it.
Oh, did you? Okay. About their fucking not telling people that someone was infected with coronavirus, and now the general union's suing their ass again.
Again? Yeah, that was my article. My article was basically about the fact they were like making people work illegally for a while. Gaba's doing it as well. Now one of the teachers got corona.
Yep. Yeah, I heard that too. Anyway.
Man, don't work for an Eikaiwa. Do not work for Nova. Don't do it. It's so... Anyway.
If you're doing it, stop it.
Stop it. Go
get some help.
Get some help. It's the best meme.
Anyway, crashing this Nova party.
So my friend studied there, her and her kids.
Yep.
So she calls one day and she's like, "Hey Jordan, do you want to come to this like farewell party?" And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, it's a farewell party for this teacher who's leaving and going to work in like Tokyo or something. Do you want to come to this party?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah. Of course I want to come to this party. That sounds fucking stupid. So I roll up to this party, and obviously I'm like a guest there. I'm like her +1.
Right.
But everyone just thinks I'm a teacher that they've never seen before.
Ooh, okay.
So we spend the whole, I just speak Japanese the entire time. There's some fucking interesting characters there. Like, it's really, really good Japanese people, like, who went to this school. One guy came there dressed up as Jack Sparrow.
Sweet.
And
it was a Halloween party?
No, it was not.
Okay, cool.
He just came as Jack Sparrow.
Respect.
And one other guy came as like a police guy, and he had like these like fucking tight ass pants on. And I looked to my, it's just these two guys.
Okay.
I looked to my friend and I go, "Was this meant to be a costume party?" And she's like, No, this is just how these two are. And I'm like, I'm going to become friends with these guys. These guys are fucking, and I did. They're fucking amazing.
They're fucking weird.
They're so fun. But anyway, crashed this party, like, everyone thought I was a teacher there. I'm like making friends with like these like students and shit. Then apparently for like 2 months after that, people kept requesting me as a teacher. And I don't work there. So like a woman came to the school after she was someone's +1.
Yeah.
She came to the school to join the school. And she's like, "Hey, I really want to join the school. I want to have like a demo lesson with Jordan. Like, do you like, is he working today?"
They just go, who the fuck's Jordan?
There we go. They go, who the fuck's Jordan? It's like the guy with the afro who was at the party. He's like, oh, no, he doesn't work here. And it's like, oh, does he work in a different branch? Did he quit? And it's like, no, he's never worked here. Like, he doesn't even...
He doesn't exist.
He doesn't exist in this company. And apparently it happened for like 2 months after that. People kept coming to request like transfers to my classes and shit. And then my friend had to be like, oh, Jordan, apparently you're not allowed to come to any more of our parties because, like, you created such a fucking chaotic situation afterwards.
So that speaks to the quality of teacher at...
Yes, it does.
That place.
The teachers were... They're okay. There's one guy who's pretty good, but the rest I'm like, I don't really know how you guys, like, even, like, operate here.
Man, I'd never do Eikaiwa work. I just, like... I fucking couldn't handle that type of... you know, where like, oh, students have to come to me and you meet like one-on-one and do like,
I've done some one-on-one, I done some cafe shop English, which is pretty fun. That was more like, I was in a cafe, drinking coffee, and a guy next to me had a question. I was studying Japanese at the time.
Yeah.
Big table, Starbucks. The guy next to me studying English, and he's like, a question. And I'm like, yeah, I can answer your question, I don't give a shit. And he's like, oh, in this sentence, can I say this? And I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that's cool. Then throughout the thing, he's asking me more questions. He's like, hey, does this make sense? And I'm like, yeah, you're good. Like, yeah, no stress, man. Like, if I had a question, I'd ask him. Like, I didn't know this guy.
Right.
Just happened to be sitting next to each other. So, for some reason, after me and this guy were, like, basically studying together for, like, 2 hours, he bounced. And then a woman comes over. And she's like, oh, do you have a card? I would love to, like, learn English as well with you. And I was like, yeah, I don't really do that. But I thought to myself, wait a minute. That's easy money.
Right.
I should probably start doing this. And then I started to do it. Like in the Starbucks in my old station, like at Sagami Ono. I just go there on like Sundays randomly, just sit there, and my students would come and study from me. And at first I was like, oh, just give me like 500 yen. And if you can find a space next to me and I'm here, sit next to me, give me 500 yen, and for as long as I'm in this Starbucks, you can ask me anything you want. And we did like a whole thing. So it went from like 500 yen to like people giving me 500 yen, presents, snacks, buying me coffee. And I was like, this is a way better strat, because I didn't need the money.
Right.
I just wanted also someone to ask questions to, you know? But I had less questions than they did.
Right.
So I just got tons of snacks. The best snack I got was a watermelon.
Someone just brought you a watermelon?
Fucking watermelon. Apparently their parents owned a farm that grew watermelons.
That makes sense.
She came one day, she was like, hey, do you want this watermelon? And I'm like, this is a treat. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, bro. What?
Of course I want why wouldn't you want a watermelon?
Everyone wants a watermelon. I looked at this melon and I was like, can I cut this open, blend the insides, and fill it with vodka? I decided not to. But, David, I was tempted. David, I wanted to make some watermelon vodka, dude.
That shit's dangerous. Don't do that.
That was bad. But I think if you can get situations like that, you can really sort of help your financial situation out a little bit. Like, it's pretty fun. But Eikaiwa stuff directly is awful. It's probably the worst shit you can do here.
Yeah. But it's you know, it's always those people who work at like a tiny Eikaiwa who are those people like,
I know the most
about Japan.
Yeah, do you know about, well, like, it's like recently I was having a conversation on Twitter about cheap places to buy groceries.
Okay,
in Japan. So it spurred from one of our
not supermarkets.
It spurred from one of our friends one of the people we know talking about what's cheaper, cooking at home or eating out.
Cooking
at home. Yeah, exactly.
The answer is cooking at home.
The answer is cooking at home. So he was like, it's cooking at home. But people were really adamant that it was eating out. Like, eating out is cheaper. And I was really confused. I was like, where are you guys eating that it's cheaper to eat out rather than cooking at home?
Right.
So I'm asking, like, you asked the basics. Where are you shopping? And the things they were coming out with, my man was paying, David, like 200 yen for a thing of broccoli. I pay like a sprig of broccoli. Yeah, I pay like 80 yen for broccoli. Yeah. He's like, 1 carrot cost me 150 yen. I'm like, baby, 1 carrot's 80 yen. I'm like, where are you shopping?
Right.
What the fuck is this? How inept are you?
near my old house, there's like there was a Maretsu, like a supermarket, a Maretsu supermarket.
They're kind of expensive, but
and then immediately across the street, on the corner,
Big A.
No, it's just like some old dude selling vegetables out of his own shop.
I love those old people.
I could buy a thing of onions, a thing of potatoes, carrots, green peppers, eggplant, and what else did I buy? I bought something else, like not potatoes. I don't remember what it is. Like 6 different items, and like more than one. Like it was like 3 onions, be like 5 potatoes, like 4 carrots, right?
Big old potatoes, hell yeah, bro.
It was a lot, and I think I paid 500 yen.
There we go.
If I bought a single bag of potatoes or like a single bag of onions at a supermarket, it's like 200 yen.
It's money.
Yeah,
it's so much. The secret to shopping in Japan is you got to avoid the big old supermarkets in the stations. Those places are fucking expensive.
Yep,
they're good. You want a really good bento? Go there.
Yeah, if you don't want to cook, then I get it. Yeah. I get it where you could get it in your head and you go, it's cheaper to buy.
Yeah, this bento for like 500 yen than
right?
It is to
make it myself.
But you're wrong. You're just wrong.
It's not cheaper to do it that way. It's only cheaper to do it that way is because you are inept at cooking.
Yeah.
If you were good at cooking and you could make something worth a damn, then it wouldn't fucking matter.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, there was so many people that were like, well, I pay like this much for this place and I'm shopping at like Life Supermarket. And I'm like, you're shopping wrong. Like, it comes down to the fact that if one person is telling me that, one person only is telling me, oh, it's really expensive to shop in Japan because blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, but I know from my own experience and experience of others that it's cheaper.
Right.
It's expensive, maybe more expensive in the UK, for me personally, but that's because in the UK, I know what stores are cheaper. I know what places are better served to my eating needs. When you come to Japan, people just go, I'll go there. Like, I went to the co-op.
Yep.
Was near my house. When I first came here, the woman who was like showing me around was like, oh, this is your nearest supermarket. This is the best place to shop.
Right. And
I was like, well, I guess I'll take her word for it. And then after like a month, I was like, shopping's really expensive here. Like, it would be cheaper just like eat out. And then exploring my area a bit more, I was like, oh, this is a big A. I'll go inside here and see what that's about. Hold on a fucking minute. This whole cabbage is 100 yen.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I... You know what I mean?
Dude, the old place that was selling vegetables near my house, they sold me a full-size watermelon, 300 yen.
300 yen?
A full watermelon for $3.
Listen, if you go to, like, Tobu supermarket and you ask for a whole watermelon there, first they punch you. That's just part of the payment. Yeah. They just get to punch you for asking that question. Then they take your hand, your firstborn son, and probably someone, and your someone headphones. Then they give you half a watermelon.
Yeah.
And it's not big.
Nope.
It's the size of like not even a soccer, I was going to say a tennis ball.
Size of that's
an apple, my boy.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so expensive to buy like watermelons and sort of basic fruit here. Like, it's...
That's why I feel like you have to be... As someone who lives here, I think you have to have a little bit, not a little bit, you have to have a lot of introspection.
You do.
About understanding that just because someone has lived here longer than you does not mean they know anything.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah, because it's always the people, and here's the thing, the people that always claim to know the most are the people who know the least.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah.
So it's like the guy who's telling you like, oh, you know, I've lived in Japan for 5 years and just do X, Y, and Z. But it's like, my man doesn't speak Japanese, so what the fuck does he know?
There we go.
Like, how does he expect to know anything when dude couldn't figure out katakana, right? Like,
my man couldn't figure out kana.
It's... Yeah, like, you can't trust that guy. It's like, oh, yeah, he's lived here 10 years. He should know. It's like,
he doesn't.
Yeah, he should know. But he don't.
Definitely don't know. The example I have for that is that when my tooth was like playing up and I needed to get it pulled or like drilled or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wanted a dentist, but I was like, I don't know any good dentists in the area. And the company had like managers, and managers are there to basically help you out. So I email a manager and I'm like, hey dude,
where should I go for a dentist?
Kind of want to hit the dentist. Where do you think I should go? Do you have any recommendations? Remember, I was living in like Kanagawa, but kind of deep Kanagawa. And he says to me, you should go to this dentist in Yokohama.
Which is probably like an hour away.
It was like an hour away and a bus ride. So I was like, why am I... No, dude, I want a dentist in the area. You're the manager for this area. Give me a dentist in this area. And he goes, oh, the Yokohama dentist speaks English. And I'm like, and?
Yeah, here's a pro tip. Dentists and doctors are smart. And do you know where they go when they're smart? To places that speak English.
Yeah, bro.
And when you go to a place that you speak English, you learn English.
Learn English.
Go figure,
Go
right?
fucking figure. Like, I was so annoyed. I was like, I'm done with these. These guys are dumb. I think that was the last straw for me, that I was like, all the managers are fucking retarded. And I just went to the dentist close to my house anyway, and it was way better.
Yep. I went to... I had like... I needed like something for... my skin. Like, it was like quite dry. So I went to just like the doctor around my corner.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting, sitting in the thing, and I give him like my health card, like the lady at the desk, and like give him my health card. This dude's like, oh, hi, Mr. Drink, like, how are you, blah, blah, and he's speaking in English, right?
Oh, fuck no.
And of course, he's like in this like shop, like a doctor's office that's like out of someone's house. Like, that's what it looks like.
Wow.
Just like a small little clinic area, right?
No way.
And I go after he checks me out and blah, 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 and he's like, oh, here, we'll give you this over the counter or whatever.
Yeah.
I go into like the lobby area, which is like the Genkan of like someone's fucking house. And they put like 4 chairs in there, right? And up on the wall, I see he's got like 3 different degrees from 3 different state universities.
God damn.
And I'm like, yeah, of course he speaks fucking English.
God
yeah,
damn.
Well, guess what? Most doctors also go to America to fucking study because that's where you go.
Yeah. A lot do.
So when some motherfucker tells me, oh, none of the doctors speak English, I don't trust that man because he don't know.
He don't know. He don't go nowhere.
Don't know.
He don't know. It's like when anyone... I feel like you gotta question everything people say in Japan. When you're asking for advice, I feel like first do your own research, then ask for the advice, then research again. I think that's the triple step you gotta do. It's like if I'm asking someone like basic shit, like where do you think I should go to buy... Oh, for example, where is the cheapest place to buy... Situation.
Are you asking me this question?
This is a situation.
Let's do. Okay.
This is a situation I had, like, cause it's pretty good. So I know the answer already.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't, which is why it's good.
Let's see if I know the answer.
You ask, like, where's the cheapest place to buy a Shinkansen ticket?
A Shinkansen ticket?
Yeah.
The cheapest place.
It's a hard question. Cause I only worked this out. What's something like that? Someone normally told me about this.
Yeah.
Recently, like the last 2 years.
So occasionally there's like kiosks around the station that will actually sell tickets for a reduced fare. Sometimes there's vending machines that'll sell tickets for a reduced fare.
Got it.
Or occasionally online,
yeah.
depending on where you buy the ticket from, you can get it for a reduced fare. Yeah. Never buy it from the machine in the station.
Yeah. There is, my man's got it, yeah. There are kiosks at the station that sell them cheaper, and sometimes there are places like outside the station, not the Shinkansen station per se, just random locations, and they just sell tickets. For reduced rates. That's it. Like,
which I don't understand how that works, but...
I don't understand how it works, but it's sick. I think normally the Shinkansen from Tokyo to Kobe is like, what, 20,000? Yeah, like $20, something like that. Bro, they were selling it for like a month.
Yeah.
And I didn't know why. Like, I went with my ex-girlfriend. I went there and she was like, yo, this place sells, like, tickets for, like, cheaper. And I'm like, why? And she's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool.
When I went to Himeji with Chiro, we would buy tickets outside of the station at a little kiosk.
I know exactly where you went because I went there as well. Yeah. And that's where you go.
And it's like, you buy it for, like, your ticket's, like, maybe, like, 200 yen.
Yeah.
But you go and buy it from the machine, you'd be like, 150, 120, right?
Yeah.
But if you happen to buy two tickets a day, you basically saved an entire other ticket by not buying it at the station.
Yep. It's the stores are weird as well. There's like paper, like printed signs, like
like handwritten printed signs about going to
See, that's a question that I like. I hold that question pretty dear to my heart now because I found out about this thing like 2 years ago, and only because someone who I was close to told me about this thing. Otherwise, I had no idea. Because I'd seen those stores before, but I was never interested enough to take the time to read it or to look inside the store. I just walked past it. And if you don't stand and look at the store and be like, oh shit, these are like, it says it, discounted tickets for Shinkansen, buses, you know?
Yep.
So, asking someone who's lived it for 10 years, where is the cheapest place to buy Shinkansen tickets? If they don't know the answer to that question, they don't know the answer to most of your questions. Because in my mind, that is the most basic question.
Right.
Where is the cheapest place to buy bus tickets? Where should I go to get these tickets? And if they just say, oh, at the station, you can just use the machines. This man has never stepped outside his comfort zone in his entire life. Because going into one of those stores to find tickets, that's out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you 100%, these motherfuckers don't speak English.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
100%. Negative.
It's like a mom and pop shop for train tickets, which is really weird.
A lot of them are like weird, small. There's one near my work, and I go there to grab tickets before. I go to grab tickets when I'm doing like shoes out and stuff for work.
Yeah.
Like I'll go there, grab tickets, like give the receipts back to the dude, and they're like, oh, that was really quick. And I'm like, yeah, I went to the fucking kiosk. Down the road. Why am I gonna go to fucking Shinjuku when the kiosk is right there and it's cheaper?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Come on, like, fucking hell.
Yep.
But
There's a comedy skit that I think dispenses some real fucking wisdom. And I can't quote it exactly, otherwise I'm gonna get in trouble because I'm white. But I will paraphrase what the man says at the end, right? So at the end of this whole, he talks about like how if you don't know anything, you can't grow. So his thing is, at the end of the thing, he says, a man only knows what...
Oh, I know this. It's like, you don't know what you don't know kind of thing.
No. He says like, he's like, all a man knows is all a man wants, and a man who doesn't know much doesn't grow much.
That's so good.
And it's true. It's true.
Dude, that's so good.
People who don't know anything are content with not knowing anything.
Yeah.
And people who don't know anything don't grow.
It's true.
Because they're content with being stupid.
It's true. I mean, yeah, pretty much. That is...
Don't be content with being an idiot.
That's what it is. Oh, man, you look to America right now, boy, that's what it is.
Yep.
People don't want to know things. And then, I feel like, what do we say in our culture? It's something like, if you don't hear, you must feel. Which is basically like, they'll tell you like, stop running around, and they'll tell you once, and then you smash your head into the counter, and it's like, I told you stop running.
Told you.
Yeah, or like, yo, don't touch that, it's hot, and you touch it and you burn your hand, it's like, it was hot. It's like, yeah, I told you.
Wear a mask, don't wear a mask, get corona, die.
Die. Someone died of corona, and on his deathbed, the guy said something like, I think I've made a mistake, I guess it wasn't a hoax, and then he died.
Yep.
And that is fucking brutal.
There you go. I think
brutal.
Those are words to live by. If you don't know much, you don't grow much. So learn some shit so you can grow. If you live in Japan and you're sitting in your house every fucking week, you ain't gonna know much.
Go out.
Go out.
Go explore.
Meet some people. Do some shit.
Go do some cool shit, honestly.
It just boggles my mind. But it's always those people who don't know anything who always like are like, I'm gonna speak authoritatively about stuff, and it's like, do you know shit?
No shit, boy. It's like our meetings were always the worst meetings.
Yeah.
Like when I was like teaching times, because our meetings were full of people who are like that. They were all like lived it for a long time. We had like a lot of teachers in our meetings, so they were like, I know this, I know this, I know this, and it was like, oh, how are we gonna make this happen? Like, let's do it this way. No, this way is better. And you're standing, you're like, everyone is just chatting shit. Like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about because he's not experienced enough to understand what he's talking about. And this other guy, he's working like 5 jobs to like keep himself afloat. Like, I don't want to take his advice.
Right.
Because I don't want to follow that path he's walking down.
Nope.
Doesn't sound like fun. Like,
no.
Really. I feel like you should really be asking advice from people you want to emulate. So if you found someone who's working like a better job than you, or someone who's like basically your senpai.
Yeah. What did you do to get there?
Yeah, that's what I did. Like, I asked people who were working better jobs than me, like my senpais in the country. I was like, yo, how did you get from here to here? What did you do? And they'll tell you. They'll be like, they're happy to tell you, because that's how it is. There's no point asking someone at the same level as you, how do I do this?
Yeah, because they don't know.
They don't fucking know.
They're at the same level as you. That's why they're there. Don't
ask them, like, where should I take a date? They don't know.
Yeah, they don't know.
They don't know. They married. They fucked up already.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
God, dude. Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty good. We saving questions?
I didn't ask for any, so I guess not.
I didn't really ask for any either. I was too busy enjoying this 4-day weekend we have. Dude.
Yes, I agree. Me too.
Bruh.
Do you have questions or?
I got a bunch of interesting like statements and stories come in, but not really questions per se.
Okay.
But yeah, thanks for. I answered about where everyone's favorite cafe was. So I got a couple of nice answers.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah,
that was good. Starbucks came up a lot. Yeah, I know, right? I was like, guys, your favorite Starbucks?
Cafe?
Starbucks.
Man, if your favorite cafe is a brand,
man, you fucked up.
You fucked up.
You done fucked up, dude.
I don't even like coffee all that much, and even I know you fucked up.
Dude, I love coffee, but for me, Starbucks is like, it gets the job done. For example, Starbucks for me is like, oh no, my train's coming in 5 minutes. I need coffee in my hand now.
Right.
And I'll look inside a Starbucks and there's no line. I'm like, that's where I'm going to go.
Right, exactly.
Because I know in 2 minutes, they'll get a coffee from the fucking register to my sweaty hand and I'll be on the fucking train. That was me this morning. Like, I know they can get it done. Exactly. That's why I go there.
Yeah, if I'm going to a cafe, I want to be in a cafe, drinking from an actual cup.
Yep.
There has to be smooth jazz playing in the background.
Oh, yes, David.
Like, those are like 3 minimum requirements. If you don't have those...
There's a really good cafe in Ogikubo that I used to study at. And they have, like, these massive iced coffee brewery things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like cold brew?
Dude, the best cold brew is amazing. And they had, like, a really good jazz playing in.
Mm.
And I was studying for a while in that cafe. It was pretty good. You know that song, Betsuni Mucho? It's like a jazz song. Betsuni Mucho. Probably it's pretty old.
Maybe, I might have heard it. There's so many Japanese songs I know that I don't know the names of.
Yeah, it's like really old jazz song. It's pretty good. So, they started playing that, and I'm like, I know this song. I like this song. And they're playing all these, like, jazz songs I know, and I'm like, wait, I have the CD. Like, I had the exact CD they were playing. So it's like, next should be this song. And that's when came up, and I was like, yeah, I have the CD. It's like, this cafe
there you go.
knows what they're doing. It's a good cafe. Go support your local businesses, boys. That's my only thing.
Stop going to fucking Sukiya.
Bucks. Yeah, Foxkia. Go to your local gyudon store. See what's good, especially living in Japan. Like,
yeah, they're everywhere.
Businesses are kind of struggling now. I feel like my only thing I want to end this with, I should say, is that so your local stores around your area, there's always like tons of them, and there are stores that you look into, you always pass, and you never go inside.
Yeah,
you're always like, oh, maybe next time. Go inside the store. Don't wait next time. Go inside the store. Trust me, it's good. You will have the best time at that store.
Probably, yeah.
Especially considering like a lot of foreigners don't go to these places.
Right.
So going in there is like they love it.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing for them.
There's an izakaya by my old house that I walk by every single day, and I never went in, and I regret not doing it. I regret not doing it.
There's a Chinese place near me, near the gyoza place that we really like.
Yeah.
And I went in there during the pandemic because I was like, let me support this Chinese. I was gonna go to the gyoza place, but it's a chain store. So I was like, let me support the little Chinese place that's like across the road from that. Because they make some really good authentic Chinese food. And I bowl in, I sit down, and I'm like, I order my food, and the guy's like, oh, you're the guy who's always like longboarding around here. I'm like, yeah, that's me. He's like, you like Chinese food? I'm like, yeah, sometimes, pretty good. He's like, what do you normally like? And I'm like, I don't know, like mapo tofu, like gyoza. It's pretty much all I eat. And he's like, we have both those things. I was like, yo,
sweet.
I'll take them both. And he brings them out. The mapo tofu, that was fucking sick.
Yeah.
And the gyoza, I thought I ordered like a 3 set. Brings back this 9-piece set of gyoza. Comes out.
Holy fuck.
Man, my boy fucked me up, dude. Bought me soup, bought me rice, had tea. Wrecking this food. I'm like, this is great. The bill comes. The gyoza is nowhere to be seen. I'm like, dude, you forgot about the gyoza. He's like, nah, man. Service. I'm like, bro, that was 9 pieces of gyoza.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot of gyoza.
That's a lot of gyoza. And I ate all of them. It was good. But the chef is such a nice dude. Like, he's such a babe. Whenever I have time, I always go there. I always bring people there as well. Fucking dude, such a good place.
Yeah,
that mapo tofu kicks ass.
That's good advice.
Go to your local stores.
If you live in Japan, and I know a lot of you do, just go in that store you see all the time. And you're like, I wonder what's in there.
Oh, definitely do. Yeah.
And if you have a bad time,
you know
what? Yeah, then you know.
At least you know that it's trash. I always give it 2 chances.
Right.
Personally, I always go twice. Like, I go once and I go again. There was actually one store near my old place. Same as you. Like, izakaya, looked really fun inside, but it was always pretty full. So I never went inside.
Right, yeah. This was the same kind of situation.
Same thing. I never went inside. And I was like, now that I've moved, I'm like, fuck. I wish I went inside. Because I know for a fact I would have had fun there.
Yep.
Like, 100% it would have been a good time. But, pissed. You'll regret it, trust me. Maybe not straight away, but eventually you'll regret it. Because you'll go into an izakaya with your boys and you'll be like, damn it.
Yep. Sukiya will always be Sukiya, but
Sukiya's always going to be there. You'll move, and them local places will close down or change, or
like,
it's hard. Anyway, That's it for us, boys.
I think so, yeah.
Guys, you can fucking follow us, and you better. Follow me at Afro in Japan. Follow us at Tokyo Fresh Podcast on Instagram.
Yep.
And then Tokyo Fresh Pod on Twitter.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've been using Twitter a lot more.
You have been. It's been fun. Twitter's a pretty interesting place to fuck around in. So, I'm on Twitter as well, but I don't use it. So, Afro in Japan on Twitter as well. I just post bullshit all the time. So, and I insult people for being dumb. That's it. That's my entire Twitter. That's the cast, bitches. See you next week. I gotta go pick up some weights.
Bye.